4 years have passed since the mortal races banded together and stood united against the might of the Burning Legion. Though Azeroth was saved, the tenuous pact between the Horde and the Alliance has all but evaporated. The drums of war thunder once again.
I recently broke my foot, which gave me a chance to revisit classic WoW and gave me an opportunity to fall in love with the old lore of World of Warcraft all over again. Back when you were just an adventurer, before Deathwing reshaped Azeroth, before the mist that lurked over Pandaria vanished, and way before all things post Mist of Pandaria, because I haven't played retail in like years. I always joyfully remember the Defiance Brotherhood questline, starting in Westfall. It takes you all over the place and ends up in the Defiance themed dungeon, Dead Mines. And there's a lot of more lore involved with them, but everyone has heard about them already, of course. But today I'm here to talk about another Prime Syndicate, the Syndicate. I think everyone remembers their first time questing in Nerati Highlands and as an Alliance player entering the zone from the south, crossing the Tandal Span, one of Azeroth's wonders. After making your way to Refuge Point as an Alliance or Hammerfall for the Horde, you will most likely be sent to Stormguard to kill some members of the Syndicate faction and collect some of their leaders' heads. Since they are elite and have rogues sneaking around, it's best to get some people together because it's one of those vanilla WoW outside dungeons. Unless you read every quest text and other written WoW lore about the Syndicate, you probably just know them as those annoying casters and rogues who come out of nowhere while you are grinding your sweet experience points, while you're trying to reach level cap as fast as possible. But while their lore is sadly not used in vanilla WoW, it's still a story worth to be told. King Alden Bernold was a king of Altric during the Second War, and he betrayed the Alliance by letting Organ Doomhammer and his forces safely through his kingdom in a promise for protection and a leading part in the Horde's future reign of the Eastern Kingdoms. But after the war ended and the Alliance stopped the Horde onslaught and sent them back running to the Dark Portal, the Alliance took their revenge on the nobles of Altric and sieged their kingdom, dismantling the kingdom of Altric. As years passed, the remnants of nobles and citizens of Larati kept living under the radar, making money from smuggling, theft, and other criminal activities. While most orcs were freed from internment camps, the Syndicate still holds and believes orcs should be enslaved. For that and many other reasons, they appear on the Alliance and Horde's radar. Around the time of Classic, both Horde and Alliance adventurers are dispatched to Stormguard Keep to take care of a small concentration of Syndicate forces that took over the place after the Second War. And besides a few more kill and collect quests in Southshore and Eltric Valley, there is not much for them in game. You can kill members of Ravenhold faction for reputations with the Syndicate, but there are no rewards to pair with the reputation and kind of makes the grind worthless, as many of the reputations in Vanilla WoW actually. Sadly, in Cataclysm, the Defiance Brotherhood questline and dungeon got a total revamp, but sadly Syndicate was left behind. By the time Cataclysm hit, they were kicked out of Durnhold Keep by the Hordes and the Undead, and by Battle of Azeroth, they were totally removed from Azeroth. They could have done so much more with this faction. Imagine a Dead Mines or like Shadowfang Keep like dungeon, but with the Syndicate as main faction. Would have been cool to see another dungeon portal in the Ultric Mountains, of course. There's some speculation that the Syndicate is secretly being corrupted by the Argus Way cult, who secretly work for the Searing Blade, who in their turn serve the Burning Legion. There's a small reference to it in the Legion's expansion, but nothing really special. Kind of the same way the Scarlet Crusade is being controlled by a Dreadlord, so maybe not that interesting having the same story kind of twice, but yeah. While there's a big chance Blizzard just created the Syndicate to serve as quest targets to run through, without any further plans for them, but I just can't stop thinking about what they could have done with them if they spent more time in Vanilla before crossing over to the Burning Crusade. Plus, this proves that if there ever would be a Classic Plus in the future, they don't have to look far for inspiration of Classic like content and have a faction ready to be dealt with. This is my first video about World of Warcraft. If you have any tips about my editing, my voice work, just let me know. Thank you.